Hoover Mayor Frank Mercado and City Administrator Alan Rice with us this morning as the city is working to show some transparency about that tragic shooting at the Galleria on Thanksgiving night. And gentlemen, last hour we talked about the investigation, what we could talk about the investigation, but we also saw some protesters arrested over the weekend. Tell us why they were not arrested, because we didn't see any arrests during any of the protests.
Right, that's right, Art. Things happen quickly a lot of times during those events, and so anytime that a police officer witnesses a misdemeanor, they have a 12-month period to go back and obtain those warrants. So our officers are now working through videotape evidence from the protests and determining where we went outside, or where protesters went outside the bounds of the First Amendment. You know, the First Amendment applies to everybody. We're going to protect everybody's right to peacefully assemble and demonstrate. But when we start to have things that impair public safety, those are things that have to be addressed.
So 2 over the weekend, is it possible there will be more arrests?
There was one on Thursday afternoon for an isolated incident there at City Hall, and then another arrest yesterday was a warrant from previously in the week when the interstate was shut down. It is possible that there will be more arrests. There are more warrants that are out right now. And so as we encounter those individuals, it's possible that those warrants will be served.
Mayor, talk about what you're hearing from citizens and also from businesses there in Hoover with all this going on.
Sure. Well, you know, our citizens are devastated. They're upset about this, obviously. We had a loss of life in our city. But, you know, what I am hearing from is that they want to get through this and get to the healing process. They want us to have dialogue, and those are the things that we're talking about now. We've already been very much involved with our faith leaders. We've reached out and had some other leaders in the African American community that want to start, want to help us get from the investigation to conversation to healing. So those are the things that we're looking forward to. We all want to get to the truth at the end of the day. There are a lot of families affected by this, a lot of businesses affected by this. So we hope sooner than later that we can start talking and having some serious conversations.
Yeah, well, we've seen how this has played out. These police shootings have played out in other cities, and they have not always been good. What is Hoover doing to make sure that it's on the right side of history and make sure the right thing is done?
Well, the primary thing, Art, is how we're dealing with the protests that are occurring. You know, it's not our goal to make a lot of arrests. We know that people need to have their voice heard, and we're trying to balance the different viewpoints that are in our community. Hoover is an incredibly diverse community, more diverse than the United States is actually. And so we're managing a lot of different perspectives, but we don't want anybody to be injured, and we don't want any property to be damaged or destroyed. Beyond that, we can deal with those protests in an effective way. And we think that the way that we do that right now lays the groundwork for what the mayor mentioned about a future conversation, so that we can move into other phases of this whole process.
We're going to go ahead and leave it there for now, because I'm sure there's much more to be talked about. The situation is going to be playing out for some time now, but we certainly thank you, Alan Rice, and also Mayor Mercado.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, you guys, for coming in, and we'll be talking to you. Keep us updated.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.